Hey guys, it's Jessica. Today we're gonna do a video that kind of came to me organically. I'm not breaking new ground here. I had just bought a bunch of items I needed before we travel, which while you're watching this, I might already be in Europe. Regardless, I was buying a bunch of new items in case I wanted to bring them with me on the trip. I realized that about half of them were items I had repurchased because I love them so much. Some of them I've repurchased multiple times. You know, in the world that I'm living in here where I am trying a lot of makeup, it's pretty rare for me to go through something. It's even more rare for me to actually repurchase something, but there are certain items I've tried, especially in the past couple of years, that I've just fallen in love with that I use over and over again. Some of them I think will come as no surprise to you, and I think a few actually might surprise you because I don't necessarily talk about them a lot, but I use them off camera a lot. To be frank, I'm quite excited to have some of these in my collection again because some of them I'd run out of a long time ago and I was really missing them. So if you're curious, my headband might be a little much, but I kind of also love it. I'm kind of in between. I bought it at Ulta. I think I can find a link online. And then this hoodie is from Target. I can link it below. All right, let's start with the one that I was kind of surprised that I repurchased, because a lot of times when a product is super expensive, even if I love it, I'm like, well, I already have something in my collection. I don't need to repurchase it. But this one I loved enough to buy again. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I just bought another one. This one I probably have like one more week of use out of, so I'm still using it, but I've got my brand new baby right here. This product is expensive, but it is unique. I don't have another product like this. It's a liquid bronzer, and I've been working so hard to find a drugstore version of this product because I found really good drugstore cream like stick bronzers, but none that are liquid. So let me know if you know of one because I'm dying to find one. It just blends into the skin so seamlessly. When you first swatch it, it's kind of nerve-wracking because it is dark and you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Because for me, I'm like, I am not a very precise makeup applier. I'm just not. There's a reason you've never seen me do like a cut crease or something. That's not my style. I'm not good at that. So for me, I need a bronzer like this to just blend with really no skill at all. And so I use a brush like this one. This is the Sephora number 41 one, or there's an EcoTools one. But I use that to blend this and it is just seamless in the skin. I love it. It stays in place all day. I'm excited to have a new one. The downside to this is the packaging is, I don't mind the sponge, but if you forget to close it, and for me, I traveled with it, and I left it open. So it ended up getting the product all over the place. It's such a mess. I've been squeezing out every last drop and I just love this. Next one is a drugstore favorite, and it is the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner. This is one that I discovered probably 6 years ago, maybe even before I had my YouTube channel. And I just found it to be so good. It is super black, super creamy. It stays all day. If you have been struggling with keeping eyeliner in place, especially if you put it on the upper lash line like I do, this will not budge. I really, really love it. I repurchased it because I'd been using the MAC Black Track one, but it dried out. I left it open and it just cracked in the middle the other day and I was like, So I was excited to repurchase this because I haven't had it in over a year. It really is so, so good. Absolutely better than high-end ones I've tried. You just don't need to spend the money on high-end gel and cream liners. This one is so amazing, and I'm excited to have it in my collection again. And bonus points, the brush that it comes with is actually really good. I used it today to apply this, and I was like, this is fantastic because you can get really close in there. It's really small and detailed. It's really good. Another drugstore favorite is this Essence Volume Stylist Lash Extension Mascara. I've gone through 3 of these now. These are right around $5 at Ulta. Any drugstore where you can find Essence, you'll be able to find this. Oh my gosh. This was one that I guess I used to not like. I guess I tried it in some video long ago. Someone was tweeting me, I think, and said, well, they said, I can't trust you because you used to not like that. I'm like, okay, well, obviously I changed my mind. It's so, so good. I tried it again in a like YouTubers made me buy it type video. And I think it was Casey Holmes that got me onto it. And it is just so curling and volumizing and black. And it works that well straight out of the tube. You don't have to wait for it to dry down or anything. I love it. Now, if you don't like black voluminous lashes, this might not be for you. If you like more like feather light, this would not be the mascara for you, but I love it. However, if you do like more feathery lashes, this is my other favorite mascara. It's the L'Oreal Lash Paradise one. This is actually my dried out one. I have a brand new one. I'm waiting to open because I have like 3 mascaras open right now, but this I've probably repurchased like 6 times. It is, again, wonderful straight out of the tube. It doesn't need to dry down at all, but it just creates these like feathery, soft, crazy curled, beautiful lashes. I think if you have stick straight lashes, this might not be the one that will hold the curl as strongly as well for you, but the Essence one will. So two very different mascaras, but both of them I just adore, and I can't stop repurchasing. By the way, I tried out some new makeup today for what I didn't have a product for. I tried out the ColourPop Double Entendre palette, and this is nice. I mean, again, it's my very standard like neutrally look, but the shadows were very nice. I tried out my very first Kylie Cosmetics blush in Baddie on the Block. I think it's really pretty. But I've just been dragging my feet on the Kylie stuff because I don't know. I don't really know why. I just get a vibe that I'm like, but at the same time, the blush is nice, so I can't even deny that. Next repurchase I'm so glad to have back in my collection is from IT Cosmetics. It is their Celebration Foundation Illumination Powder Foundation. I have the shade Light. It kind of borders on a little too dark, but not really, because once it's actually on, it does match my skin tone. But the next shade down is way too light. So I just opt for this one and it looks really seamless. So here's why this is the most magical powder foundation I've ever tried. The new Makeup Forever one gives it a run for its money, and I love that one too, and they are very, very similar. But this one has this touch of dewiness, and that's not the right word, but there's not like shimmer or anything, but it somehow lets your skin still look nice and radiant, but it absolutely gets rid of oil. It is the most magical product I've ever tried. I can't explain it other than that, but you can see it on my skin now. It perfects it. There's like actually really good coverage. Today I paired this with a BB cream, and anything that BB cream did not cover, this wipes it out. But then your skin still looks nice. I've gone through probably 3 of these. I think this is my 4th one. I adore this powder. And another way I like to apply this is with a dampened sponge. It's terrible for the powder, but I'll dip it into it and apply it. And you guys, that is the most airbrush look I've ever had on my skin. A lot of times when I travel and I'm quickly freshening up my makeup for the evening, maybe we're going to dinner and I only have like 5 minutes, I'll usually add a little bit more liner, maybe darker shadow, a different lipstick, and I'll use this with the sponge all over my face. And you guys, it is the most perfecting look. It's so beautiful. I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. I wish there was one at the drugstore that was this good. Next favorite's another one from the drugstore. This is from Makeup Revolution, and it is their Renaissance Flick Liquid Liner. This one replaced my old Holy Grail, which was the NYX Epic Ink Liner, but I've said in a few recent videos, I think they changed that formula, so I've stopped buying it. It just started to bleed everywhere, and it wasn't what it used to be. This one is amazing. This is a fresh one I just opened, probably the 4th one I've owned, and I used it today. I'll use it in conjunction with the gel liner just to create that little wing on the outer corner, and then I'll go ahead and top the rest of it just to kind of blacken it all and make it look more uniform. It is so easy to do like a little mini wing like I do with this product. It is so good. And bonus points that it's actually got pretty packaging. It looks so cute in your makeup bag, and it's under 10 bucks. These next couple might surprise you. Ish. This one is the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. Now this one's technically cheating because I didn't buy this, but it was literally on my shopping list to buy again, and Milk happened to send it in PR. You guys know, and especially if you're new to my channel, I've been declining most PR. I've been asking companies to take me off of PR lists. If I say something positive about something I got in PR, it's not because I'm pandering to the brand. Please trust me. But this was literally in my Sephora shopping cart. I'll usually let things dwindle in my cart. Anyone else do that? I'll let them just like sit there for a few days while I think about it and ruminate on it, because I know that when I'm just trigger happy or click happy, you know what I mean, I'll end up buying everything. And usually if I let it mellow in there for a while, if it's yellow, let it mellow. Yeah, let it mellow in there for a while. And then after it's marinated for a few days, I'll take a few things out. Well, this was sitting in my cart marinating, and I got sent it, and I thought, oh my gosh, perfect. But I would have bought it again. So this is the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. I think I said that, in the shade Fair. There's something about this shade that is so wonderfully neutral for my skin tone. I love it. It's not too pink or yellow. It's almost, I know this sounds weird, but it's almost gray toned, and I like that. I like that. But this is such an easy blendable concealer. This is not a high coverage concealer that's gonna cover everything under your eye, but it's also not a super light. I would say it's a medium coverage, kind of a satin finish, and I just feel like it works so well under any circumstance for me. It'll sink into a little bit of my fine lines, but I'll just set it with powder, and it is so perfect. It's perfect for every day. There's a reason I actually ran out of the first one. And again, me running out of concealer is so rare. That showed me, I'm like, dang, like I really like this. I actually also like that with the packaging, when you feel like you're not getting any more out, you can squeeze this tube and actually squeeze it out of the top. So I appreciate that. You can actually get like every last drop out of it. So Love this, highly recommend, highly blendable, easy. You can blend it with your finger, with the brush, anything. Milk, you done good with this one. This one I'm excited to have in my collection again as well. This is the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I had gone through a series where when I first discovered MAC Paint Pots, I had Painterly. And then I swore that Soft Ochre was a better match for me. It's a little more yellow tone. But now that I have Painterly again, I used it today and I was like, oh my gosh, it literally blends into my skin way too perfectly. Now, that aside, even if you're not exactly my skin tone, it doesn't need to be. This is an amazing eye primer. The Soft Ochre one is too. This whole formula, they have a couple of shades you can choose between if you're wanting it to be more of a matte finish, closer to your skin tone. They have some other ones to choose from. But this one I think is right for me, and I just love that it cancels out the discoloration. It completely mattifies the area. It holds onto shadow really well, but it's not so sticky that the second you go in with the shadow, it's gonna just cling to that area. It's still blendable, and that's, I think, why year after year I've gone back to MAC paint pots, and I feel like I always have at least one in my collection. And I don't feel like they dry out super fast. I had my Soft Ochre one for probably 2 years. This, what does it say on it? I don't see the little symbol for how long to keep it, but I have not had an issue with it drying out. Just make sure you close it after you use it every time. All right, these last two, you're gonna roll your eyes because you'll be like, of course, Jessica. These are like the two most obvious ones. I saved them for last, so if you wanna skip the last two because you've heard about them enough, that's fine. This is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I'll just touch on it quickly. This is my favorite brow pencil. The shade Brunette is a really good shade match for me. Obviously, it's what I use today. I literally bought 4 of these. That's how much I love it. Here's the thing though, I go through it really fast. So I think you have to use more of the pencil each time you use it than maybe you would on another brand of eyebrow pencil. I don't know, but I fly through these. I just think it's not too dry and not too creamy. It blends really easily. I do think the one gripe I have with this is, and that maybe that's why I'm using it up, I've started taking like loose powder, and when I apply this, putting the loose powder on it. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I know some of you guys have said you do it too. I find that it'll actually hold the brow color in place, because if I don't, by the time I'm done with the rest of my makeup, a lot of it has worn off and I have to go back in with the pencil and kind of darken it. So that would be my biggest gripe, and that's probably why I'm going through it quickly. But now that I'm doing that powder trick, it's really helped. So I love it, man. It's $5 and I love it. Probably my favorite makeup product of all time, and I'm not exaggerating, and you know I've been talking about it for years. I'm not lying to you. This is the Misha Perfect to Cover BB Cream. You can buy it on their site. You can buy it on Yes Style. It's around $20. You can buy it on Amazon for a lot cheaper, and I'm pretty sure it's legit. Most of you guys have said you've gotten the real deal. I think when I buy my next shade number 23, I'll buy it on Amazon so I can really tell you with authority, yes, that's the real deal. But this is actually shade number 21 I'm using today. I get a lot of questions from you guys. The shade range is awful. Absolutely awful, but it's such a good product. I can't wait for the day that they expand their shade range. Please, Misha, if you're watching, please. But 21 and 23, neither is perfect for me. I use 23 more often than not because I find that it is a little dark for my skin, and when you see these, they're like gray toned. But if you give them a minute to sink into your skin, they just turn into like the most perfect shade. I can't explain it. So I toggle between the two. 21's probably closer to my skin tone, but I still like 23 more. I can't explain it. Like, I really do toggle. But I also love these BB creams for mixing with other foundations. They just make everything look so skin-like and lifelike. But what's unique about this over other tinted moisturizers and BB creams is that there actually is good coverage, but it still looks moisturizing and skin-like, especially if you have normal or dry skin. I think you'll really like this. If you have oily skin, let me know. Do you like this? I'm totally curious because I don't know how that would do on oily skin. And I feel like the days I wear this, which is many, many days, my skin just looks healthy and radiant, and it looks that way all day. It's so beautiful. But I do think it needs that incubation period where you let it kind of sit on the skin for 30 seconds and then tap the rest in maybe with your fingers or a sponge. That's when the magic happens. So those are all of the products. I'm sure there's like 5 more I'll think about later today that I'm like, oh, I should have mentioned that. There are more makeup products I do keep repurchasing, but these were the 10 that were the most obvious to me. But I hope this was enjoyable. If you want to binge some of my videos, I will link some of my favorites down in my description box and up in the eye if you want to watch more. And I hope you'll subscribe and stick around. I typically do 3 videos a week, beauty and lifestyle. I hope you'll come say hi to me on social media. It's GMBeauty89 everywhere, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.